Cathay's been in Warhammer as long as there's been Warhammer. The very first edition of the game, going back to the 1984, something like that, 83, 84, mentions Cathay in a very loose form. In fact, all of the familiar nations of the Warhammer world were mentioned in only very passing sort of way in those early editions. And so when it came to actually working on Cathay with Creative Assembly, we went back to those early mentions. We picked out those little Easter eggs that had been left for us by previous generations of writers, and we expanded and extrapolated them and came up with a complete faction, a complete nation.
I mean, we got together as a team. So the first thing is we sit in a room, we discuss what is Cathay. This is a new design, a new army. Where do we start? We start from the ground up. Okay, let's get a bit of history. So our rules writers will join in. We'll come up with history. We'll play with ideas. We'll also have a discussion with Creative Assembly because they have their own ideas and opinions, and we're sort of like mediating it and helping control what is right and what fits our world. The thing about Warhammer Old World is it's sort of on a basis on historical real armies. So our first port of call would look at ancient Chinese armies, look how they're built up, look at the designs, look at the way they're armoured, the way their units fought. And that's a good starting point as a foundation for designing an army. And from there, we'd start to put the fantastical into it.
Who are the characters that you see on the tabletop? Who are the soldiers? How and why do they fight? But also the top level, the top down. What's the big history of Cathay? Who are the Dragon Emperors? Why are they dragons?
We needed the look of the army to be a hierarchy of dragons that controlled this army. We knew that the leaders and the Emperor and the Empress were both dragon forms. They were first dragons. This is not a dragon that has a rider on the back. They would never imagine that. They are the leaders, but they also can take human form to interact with their own people. And so we wanted the hierarchy to be a dragon-ruled cities. From there, we sort of worked and said, okay, you would have similar to an empire where you'd have militia and peasant factors. You want that in there as well to give you a feel of the human level.
It feels like this army is going to have a bit of everything. It feels like it's going to have some great magic. It's going to have serried ranks of disciplined warriors. It's going to have war machines. It's going to have magicians. It's going to have flying things and cavalry. The secret to this army is in the way all of these disparate unit types work together. But the overall theme is disciplined ranks of very skilled soldiers, high magic, all of that sort of thing is there. But the way they balance off against each other is key. Using them together in a balanced way is key.